The mole had been working very hard all the morning, spring cleaning his little home. First with brooms, then with dusters, then on ladders and steps and chairs, with a brush and a pail of whitewash, till he had dust in his throat and eyes, and splashes of whitewash all over his black fur, and an aching back and weary arms. Spring was moving in the air above and in the earth below and around him, penetrating even his dark and lowly little house with its spirit of divine discontent and longing.
These old steps. Oh, bother! Oh, no! Oh. Hang whitewashing. And hang spring cleaning.
Good morning, Rabbit Robert.
Good morning, Rabbit Rose.
Spring again.
Yes, everything's coming up. Hey, what's this coming up? Up we go.
Up we go! Oh, the light, the air, the freedom!
Where do you think you're going, young mole? You can't come through this meadow.
Why, you don't own the place?
I do, actually. It'll cost you sixpence.
Onion sauce.
Don't you onion sauce me. This is private property.
That's right. You have to pay a toll.
At least, if you're a mole.
And haven't stayed in your home.
Well, I won't pay.
He won't pay, Rabbit Rose.
Why won't you pay, Rabbit Robert?
Why won't you pay?
I've no money. Bunny.
He's no money.
Oh, well, we'll overlook it just this once.
Yes, particularly since you're new round here. But remember, it is private property. Some people, honestly.
Hey, Flopsy,
Are you speaking to us?
what's this?
What's what?
This long sliding gurgling thing.
What is it? Well, it's a river.
Never come across one before, have you?
No.
Sir, so much for onion sauce. The ignorance of some people, honestly.
Oh, but it's wonderful.
Is it? I've always thought it a bit ordinary.
Morning!
Oh, morning, Mr. Rat.
Oh. Hello.
Hello.
You're mole, aren't you?
That's right. You're rat.
That's right. Well, how do you do? This is an unexpected pleasure. A bit far from home, aren't we? Never seen you around here before.
No, I've taken the day off.
Taken the day off? I say, that's bold.
That's a lovely boat.
Well, I like it.
I've never been in a boat.
I'm sorry. I thought for a moment you said you'd never been in a boat.
I haven't.
Bless my soul.
Why, is it so nice?
Nice? No, it's not nice. It's the only thing. Believe me, my young friend, there is nothing, absolutely nothing half so much worth doing as simply messing about in boats. But nice? Ha! That's not the half of it. Listen, if you've nothing else on this morning, what say we drop down the river together and make a day of it?
What, in the boat? Together? Could we? Could we really?
Certainly. Hop in.
Oh!
That's it. Careful. Oh! That's the idea. Now, first item on the agenda, a spot of provender. Put this hamper on your lap.
What's in it?
There's cold chicken in it, cold ham, cold tongue, cold beef, pickled gherkins, sausage rolls, cress sandwiches, ginger beer, lemonade.
Oh, stop. This is too much.
Do you really think so? It's only what I always take. The other animals are always saying I'm a mean beast and cut it very fine. Comfy?
Rather.
Right. Off we go.
So this is a river.
My dear Mo, if I may correct you, not a river, the river.
And you really live by the river. What a jolly life.
Yeah, by it and with it and on it and in it. It's my world and I don't want any other.
Doesn't it get a bit dull at times?
dull.
What, just you and the river and no one else to chat to?
No one else? My dear fellow, the bank is so crowded nowadays, some people are moving away altogether.
What's over there?
Where?
There, that dark place on the horizon.
Oh, nothing.
Yes, there is. It's a wood!
No, don't stand up, you idiot! You'll have the boat over! Oh dear. Sorry about that. My fault. Shouldn't have called you an idiot. Only rule 1 where boats are concerned is never stand up.
Sorry.
Where were we?
You said there was a wood.
Yes. Now this looks a good spot. What say we pitch camp here? Steady as she goes. Out you get. Careful. That's it. Splendid. Make a sailor of you yet, eh? Now then, while I lay the tablecloth, why don't you unpack the hamper?
Oh, my. Sausage rolls, potted meat, and apple pie.
Peckish?
A bit. Well, a lot, actually.
Jolly good. Then don't stand on ceremony. Tuck in. Only Mo, manners. Napkin first.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Allow me. There we are. Away you go.
Well, Rabbit Ronald, they seem to have clicked.
Yeah, the old fella's probably lonely. Wants a bit of company.
Aye, somebody to rub it onto.
Do you mind, Hedgehog Herbert? I find that remark rather offensive.
You've gone a bit quiet, old chap. What is it?
Nothing. Are they trees over there, or is it a shadow? I can't tell.
All right. I suppose you'll have to find out sometime. It's called the Wild Wood, and it's just that we riverbankers don't go there very much.
Why, aren't they nice people?
Well, let's see. The squirrels are all right, and the rabbits, I suppose. Then there's Badger, of course. He's all right. He lives bang in the middle of it. Wouldn't live anywhere else. Dear old Badger. Nobody takes any liberties with him.
Why, who would?
It's the others, you see. The weasels, stoats, and the ferrets. They're all right most of the time. One passes the time of day, morning rat, morning weasel, but just occasionally they break out. Another sausage roll?
Well, when? When do they break out?
Mo, can I say something? One of the ways we animals have the edge on our human friends, and why we're happier than they are, is that we don't dwell on possible trouble ahead. Sometimes we need reminding about that, don't we?
Sorry, Rat.
It's a question of manners, really. I find most things are. Apple pie?
But, Rat...
Mo, please.
No, but what's beyond the wild wood?
Beyond the wild wood comes the wide world, and that's another topic we avoid. Point taken, Mo?
Sorry. Rat?
What is it now?
Well, I'm not sure this isn't something else I ought not to mention, but there are some bubbles in the water.
Bubbles? Oh, Lord. Look out. Stand back. Clear the food. Quick.
Why, what's the matter?
Too late.
Hello, what's all this? A picnic? Rat, you sly beggar, I don't recall receiving an invitation.
Because, Otter, I knew you'd turn up. You never stand on ceremony, though you have stood on Mr. Mole's sausage roll.
Oh, gosh, have I? And we haven't even been introduced.
Otter, may I present Mr. Mole, the wreck of whose sausage roll is now going down your throat?
Oh, delighted to make your acquaintance. Not wrecked at all. Flavour rather improved, I'd say. Is that bloater paste? Splendid.
Oh, really?
Take no notice of Rat. Old comrades in arms, Rat and I. Is he looking after you?
Oh, yes, I'm having a wonderful time.
This is Portly, my youngest. He's just had his first swimming lesson.
Ah, well, Portly, what do you think of the water?
Wet, sir.
Make you hungry, did it? Fancy some potted meat?
Oh, yes, sir.
Well, tuck in, tuck in.
What do you say, Portly?
Thank you, sir.
Who's out on the river today?
Oh, who's not out, you mean? Talk about cheek by jowl, never known the place so crowded. Toad's out for one.
Who's Toad?
Was he in the punt?
No, the skiff. I said to him, where's the punt? He said, what punt? I said, you had a punt. He said, did I? I said, well, I thought you did. Turns out he'd been showing the punt off to the ducks and ran it over the weir.
The weir?
Mind you, he was already getting bored with it. You know, Toad.
It's the houseboat saga all over again.
First of all, it was sailing.
Then came the houseboat, and we all had to go and stay with him on the houseboat.
Oh, how lovely.
And pretend we liked the houseboat. He was going to spend the rest of his life in a houseboat. It's the same whatever he takes up.
He's lucky to have the money to do it.
Has he got a lot of money?
Oh, Toad's a good fellow, I'm not saying that. Just unreliable. Oh, we must go. In you get, Portly.
Oh, must I?
Yes, and sharpish. Our lunch is rapidly disappearing upstream.
Oh, my goodness.
Thank you for the potted meat, sir.
That's all right. Bye, Portly. Time we were moving on. Just pop the things back in the basket.
His lunch, what was the bloater paste?
Oh, that was just a snack. No, what otters really like are mayflies.
Ah. Can I row on the way back?
Not yet, old chap. Have a few lessons first. Here we get. There we are. Not as easy as it looks, you know. Get up. Anyway, the current's with us, so I'll just let her drift. No rush on the river, you see. I've never told anyone this before, Mo, but I'm a bit of a poet.
Well, I shouldn't worry about it. It's probably just a stage. I once had a shot at the trombone.
I feel there's a poem waiting to be written about ducks.
Ducks?
All along the backwater, through the rushes tall, ducks are a-dabbling.
They're what?
Dabbling.
Oh, I thought you said gabbling. It could be gabbling, couldn't it?
Yes, but I think dabbling's better. Now I've lost my thread. All along the backwater, through the rushes tall, ducks are a-dabbling, up tails all. Here we are. Home. Watch out! Dear, oh dear. You silly creature. You're wet through. Oh, Lord. Give me a hand.
Sorry, Rat.
Never mind. But you better come inside and dry off. Look, Mo, not quite sure how to put this, but since it's getting late, would it be a good idea if you stopped with me for a bit? Would you like that?
Like it? Oh, Rat, I'd love it.
Jolly good. Follow me. Be careful. It's not exactly luxury nap, I'm afraid.
Oh, but the bunks and the porthole and the brass rail. Why, it's like a cabin on a ship. What's this?
It's a barometer. You tap it, and it tells you the weather.
Oh, I've never seen such a nice house.
Yes, well, to tell you the truth, I am rather proud of it. Now, here's a towel, and don't forget between the toes.
Yes, Rat.
And a bowl.
Yes?
There's no need to keep calling me Rat. It's a bit, well, formal. My friends call me Ratty. Could you manage that, you think?
Oh, yes. Ratty.
What about you? Do you have a pet name?
Oh, I've never had a friend before. My brothers used to call me Moley.
Moley. I like that. Now, pop into bed, and then I'll bring you a little smackerel or something.
Oh, it's lovely.
Yes, I think you'll be comfortable. I'll get you a hot brick to warm your toes.
Oh, Ratty, it's been a wonderful day.
It has been nice, hasn't it? Got everything you want? Good Lord. Little chap's asleep. Tired him out. Well, I'll say good night then, Moley. Good night, Moley. Moley.
Won't last, you know. Won't even last the summer.
Really? Why not?
Rat's too prickly.
Oh, you're one to talk.
Why's that then?
You're an hedgehog.
Do you mind, Rabbit Ronald? I find that remark rather offensive.
Leaves falling, acorns, seasons of mist and mellow what's-his-name. Do you write poetry, Molly?
You've asked me before, Ratty, no.
I do.
Morning, Mr. Rat. Master Mole.
Morning, Hedgehog Henry.
How much farther is it to Toad Hall?
Toad Hall, not far. As a matter of fact, I've just finished a poem today. Well, I say poem. It's more of a chanson, really. That's French for poem or song.
French? My. Is it about ducks?
How on earth did you know that?
Well, I sort of guessed.
Oh. Would you, like me to recite it?
Would you like to recite it?
Oh, well, if you insist. All along the backwater, through the rushes tall, ducks are a-dabbling, up tails all. Ducks' tails, drakes' tails, yellow feet a-quiver, yellow bills all out of sight, busy in the river. Slushy green undergrowth, where the roaches swim, here we keep our larder, cool and full and dim. Everyone for what he likes, we like to be. Heads down, tails up, dabbling free. That's right, you rabbits and squirrels, join in, join in!
All along the backwater, through the rushes tall, ducks are a-dabbling, up, tails, off.
Here we are, Toad Hall.
My goodness!
Yes, it really is one of the nicest houses in these parts, though don't say that in front of Toad.
Why?
Toad is a lovely creature and very good-natured, but, well, he's not very clever, and he does tend to be just a trifle boastful.
He must be very rich. What does he do?
Nothing very much. His father was rich, you see, so he doesn't have to earn money, though he's quite good at spending it.
Ratty! Ratty! Good morning! No, don't tell me. This is Mr. Mole. We meet at last. How do you do?
Oh, well,
I'm told you've given the old rascal a new lease of life, And what do you think of my humble home, Mr. Mole?
Why, it's magnificent.
Yes, it has been said that it's the finest house on the whole of the river, and some would say anywhere else. I heard that, Ratty. He's warning you that I show off, Mr. Mole. And I do from time to time, but it's only my way. Some people are modest, some people are not. And I'm not. Why should I be? I've nothing to be modest about. But listen, this is most important. You have to help me, both of you.
With your rowing, I suppose. Well, you're getting on fairly well, though you still splash a bit.
Oh, Rat, stop. Boating, pooh. A footling amusement.
What?
Well, I can see that it suits you, Rat, but in a curious way I find I've somehow outgrown it. I've now hit on the real thing, something to which I want to devote the rest of my life. Prepare yourself for a revelation. Shut your eyes.
Oh, dear.
Ta-da!
Oh, my! A caravan!
Good Lord.
Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, Ratty, isn't it beautiful?
Lovely.
That's the real life for you, Rat. The open road, the dusty highway. And now go inside, my young friend.
Oh, my.
The heath, the common, the hedgerow, here today and somewhere else tomorrow. Travel, change, interest, excitement.
Oh, come in, Ratty, you won't believe it. There's little bunks and a cooking stove, lockers and bookshelves. It's all so snug.
I see your young friend is a person of taste, Ratty. Sardines, Mr. Mole? You'll find some in the locker, or a chocolate biscuit, or both. I promise you nothing whatever has been forgotten. Now, I suggest we start off in, half an hour?
Oh, yes, please.
Did I hear you say something about we and start?
Now, my dear, good old Ratty, don't go all stiff and huffy. You've got to come. You can't mean to stick to your dull old river all your life and just live in a hole in the bank and boat.
Why not?
But, Rat, Mole, I'm going to show you the world.
I don't want to see the world, thank you very much. From what I've seen of it so far, it has very little to recommend it. Everybody doing things and getting somewhere.
Ah, you mean the rat race?
I can't think why they call it that. Well, I'm not coming, and that's flat. And what's more, Mole isn't coming either. Are you, Mole?
No. No, I'm not. Still, it does sound as if it might have been, well, rather fun.
No, I belong here.
But Ratty, old chap, I want to show you an England you've only dreamt of. The England of heath and common and hedgerow, green roads and ancient tracks. We will camp tonight on the downs, dine off chops, cheese, new bread, freshly churned butter and great swills of beer. And when we've done, we'll smoke a pipe and lie gazing up at the quiet stars that have shone down on this England of ours for thousands of years.
Oh, yes, yes.
Never fails.
Of course, I'm still not keen myself, but since Moley clearly wants to go...
Only if you do, Ratty.
And maybe I am a bit set in my ways.
Oh, excellent. Now, could you just have a word with the horse? He's being rather tiresome. Meanwhile, I'll go and change into my caravanning clothes.
I didn't know there were caravanning clothes.
Oh, there always have to be clothes for it, or Toad wouldn't do it. Now, Albert, what's the matter?
It's Toad. He wants me to pull the caravan, and I'm not supposed to pull things. Doctor's orders. When I pull things, I pull other things, like muscles.
Oh, Albert!
Now, don't start all that stroking. I don't like being stroked. And don't start smacking me on the side of the neck either. Still less on the bottom. Smack anybody else on the bottom and it's a punishment, whereas if you're a horse, you're supposed to love it.
Would you like a carrot?
Yes, provided it's in a cream sauce or diced in a little bouillon. What I don't want is one of them mucky raw articles. That's another misconception. One carrot and they think you're anybody's. Are you going on this expedition?
Oh, yes, it'll be fun.
Fun for you. You ain't pulling the cart.
Ready, then?
Oh, Toad, lovely togs.
I know. And I don't want to spoil them, so just give me a leg up onto the box, will you? Right. Time to go. All right, then, Matty?
Listen, will you talk to me?
Of course I'll talk to you.
Toad never does. His conversation is limited to gee-up and whoa.
G up!
Not my idea of a feast of reason and flow of soul. Added to which I never get no supper.
Any supper. I never get any supper.
Look, we'll talk to you and give you supper too.
And when I say supper, I don't mean one of them nosebag things where you get your kippers all mixed up with the custard.
Don't you worry.
There you go again. Desist.
Oh, look, Hedgehog Helen. What a lovely caravan. Isn't she a spanker?
Not bad, is she? I can't believe she's all mine.
Hello, Toadie. Got yourself a horse and cart now?
Do you like it, Mr. Weasel?
Ratty, Mr. Weasel.
What happened to the houseboat? Yeah, and the bike, and the pun. Oh, yeah, you pun, Toadie. What happened to that, eh?
They've gone. All clear.
Ah, such good people. How glad one is to be able to bring a little excitement into their dull lives. Happy, Ratty?
I am, rather.
Who wouldn't be? Just riding along, taking the world as it comes, meadow giving way to moor and field to forest, the scene changing as change it must, but gently, imperceptibly. That's England, Ratty. England's a caravan. Well, this looks like a good place to camp. Whoa! Now, why don't you fellows feed the horse, make a fire and so on? I'd prefer to do all that myself, but I've got more serious work to do, studying the map and planning the route for tomorrow.
Same old Toad. I say, you rabbits, you look at a loose end.
Of course we are. We're rabbits.
Why not lend us a hand?
Well, I don't know. What do you think, Rabbit Ronald?
I will if you will.
Well, I will if you will.
I will if you will.
Oh, if you will.
Come on.
Oh.
Rabbit Robert, more wood for the fire. Wood coming up, Hedgehog Harold. Oh, stand back.
Make way for the sausages.
Ah, bravo.
Peas out, Rabbit Rose.
Oh, Ratty, hot pies and baked potatoes.
Smell them sausages, Chief.
I can, Norman.
Chief, why do we never get invited?
Because we're vermin, Norman. Vermin and proud of it.
I know, Chief, but
what?
well, they're having a campfire song now, Chief. I like a campfire song.
And I think every day of a far-off meadow which is filled with flowers, which is yours, which is ours. The land of lost content, the hill of broken dreams, where swallows dwell in the firmament, and the
This is the life for a gentleman, eh, Rat? Talk about your old river.
I don't talk about my river, do I, Molly?
Not much, no.
I think about it, though.
Ratty,
What?
so do I.
Ah. Well, time to turn in, I think.
Here are some blankets. Good night, you fellows.
Good night, Toadie.
I thought we were going to sleep in the caravan.
No such luck.
Toad didn't do the washing up.
He's never done the washing up in his life. He likes the idea of camping, but there always has to be somebody to fetch and carry.
Yeah, us.
Yes, well, we'll see about that. Good night, Molly.
Good night, Ratty. Good night, Albert.
I was asleep until you said good night.
This one's Mole, Chief. He'd be no trouble. Yeah, but this is Rat. He's something else. Why not take them all now, Chief? All in good time, Norman. All in good time. Here's a nice tasting morsel, Chief. Baby rabbit. So, what you waiting for? Oh, gotcha!
Did you know they lost Florence during the night?
No?
Eaten by the weasels, Squirrel Raymond.
Eaten by weasels? That's terrible. Mind you, I had a shocking night myself.
I don't mind sunrise, really. And I don't dislike sunset. It's what's in between depresses me.
Gee up, Albert. Good morning, Ratty. Oh, on our way already. Oh, what a lovely morning. I could eat a horse.
Oh, could you? Well, I wouldn't say no to some toad in the hole.
We've had breakfast.
Well, where's mine?
Oh, it's all eaten. You were asleep. Do you want us to stop while you cook yourself some?
Oh, that's rather selfish of you. No, I won't bother, thank you. If we pass unlikely-looking hostelry, I'll partake of something there.
Well, Toadie, I must say I eat my words. I'm really enjoying this.
I'm glad to hear it.
Me too.
And I'm not wholly discontented myself.
The open road, the checkered counties, England spread out in front of us.
We seem to be going very slowly.
No, we're not. This is what's known as ambling. And considering it's only 9 in the morning, some people might think we were going like greased lightning.
I can't think why people stare. It's insolent. Those squirrels are even waving. Ignore them, Rat.
They're just pleased to see us.
Can't imagine why. It's just a glorified horse and cart. What's so special about that? And it's so slow, trundling along. Of course, that's what this country's like, Rat. England's a caravan. Wants geeing up a bit.
Caravan ought to watch out. There's something coming.
Go on fast, too. Something ought to warn them. There could be a nasty accident.
Very nasty accident indeed. Dear, oh dear, look at that. I saw that coming, you know.
Stop! Come back!
Villains, roadhogs, tourists! I'll have you in court. You saw that squirrel, Raymond. You too, Squirrel Shirley.
No, we saw nothing. We're squirrels.
Yes, we keep our tails to ourselves.
Ratty, they've gone!
It's a disgrace.
That wasn't very nice, was it? Could have been quite dangerous.
Poop, poop. Poop, poop.
All right, Toadie.
Ratty, I've had a vision.
Shock. Concussion.
There was a great creature, like a thunderbolt.
I had a cousin fall in the Grand National, same thing. Hot sweet tea and lots of it.
There was a man in a helmet, and he was riding a rainbow. Then a cloud of dust and the sound of distant trumpets.
And the caravan in the ditch.
What caravan?
Your caravan, Toadie, your pride and joy!
Poop, poop.
It's no use, Murray. He's forgotten the caravan already. Caravans, punts, houseboats, it's all happened before.
Funny. Without the cart, I feel a bit undressed.
Rat, you're a man of the world. I wonder, just out of interest, where one would purchase one.
Purchase what?
One of those, motor car things. Poop, poop. Poop, poop.
Toadie!
Poop, 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 Toad!
Nobody on the river.
No, too cold.
Nobody at all.
There's a duck.
Yes.
Well, that's interesting. I like ducks.
Couldn't we go and see Toad?
Won't be home. He'll be perambulating the countryside in his latest motor car. That is, if he's not smashed it up already.
I wouldn't mind going out in a motor car.
What did you say?
Nothing. We could go and see Badger.
Out of the question. Hates callers. Besides, he lives in the middle of the wild wood.
You said the wild wood was all right.
So it is, but it's not somewhere we want to go on a cold winter's afternoon.
I've never met Badger.
Well, once the warmer weather comes, I'll introduce you. You'll probably find him as dull as you're finding me. I'm off back. Coming?
I'll catch you up.
Did I hear you mention the wild wood?
Yes, Mr. Fox, do you know it?
One has various elderly female relatives there, largely bedridden, alas.
I'm sorry.
They'd welcome a visit. A little ray of sunshine like you. That way. Give them my love.
Thank you. Well, I don't see what all the fuss is about. It's a bit dark, I admit. But it's only a wood. Somebody might think those trees had faces. But I don't. I mean, what is there to be frightened of? Oh, still, I wish I was back with Ratty, round his cosy fireside. Good.
Hello, Mole. How's it going?
Lovely weather.
All right, Mole. How's friend Rat then? How's friend Toad? We don't like Toad. A hole is where you belong. Go back to where you belong.
We don't like moles who are friends of Toad.
We don't like little black animals.
You don't belong in this part of the world.
Moles are dirty. Moles smell.
Who's a dirty mole then?
We don't like moles.
They belong in holes. We don't like moles. They belong in holes. We don't like moles. We don't like moles.
Now, Master Mole, if I may, I'll just remove your glasses prior to teaching you a lesson.
No.
It's Rat! Here's your glasses back, Molly. Only a bit of fun.
Molly! Where are you? It's me! It's old Rat! Molly!
Ratty. Oh, Ratty, is that really you?
Molly! Oh, thank goodness I found you, old chap.
Oh, Rat, I've been so frightened you can't think, frightened to death.
Hold up, it's all right. Safe now. Rat's here. You shouldn't have done it, Molly. We riverbankers hardly ever come here by ourselves.
Why do they do it, Rat?
It's just their nature. We can't stop here. The weasels are still somewhere about, and it's snowing. Trouble is, I don't quite know where we are. Up you get, Molly. We must get on.
Oh, I'm tired out, Ratty.
Me too, but our only hope is to find some shelter, or we're done for. Come on.
Oh, my.
Let's try this way.
Oh, my.
Steady now. It's over there.
Oh, a leg!
What's that?
I must have tripped over a tree stump. Oh, my.
Let's have a look. No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
You didn't, Mole. This is a very clean cut. It's not from a tree stump, it's from something sharp.
Well, never mind what done it. It hurts just the same, whatever done it.
Whatever did it. Just because we've hurt our leg doesn't mean we can forget our grammar.
Hey, Ratty, what about my leg?
Never mind your leg. Look.
So? A door scraper, what of it?
What of it? Don't you see what it means, you dull creature?
Of course I see what it means. It means that some very careless person has left his door scraper in the middle of the wild wood. You seem to have forgotten I've hurt my leg.
Where there's a door scraper, what else is there?
How should I know?
Well, scrape and you'll find out. There.
So? A doormat? What use is that to us? Sometimes, Rat, I don't understand you.
That's because you're a thick-headed beast. Now dig!
I'm not thick-headed. I'm not thick-headed at all. Ratty! A front door!
You don't say. Now do you understand?
It's Mr. Badger's!
Exactly. Pull the bell.
Oh, you saved us. You saved us. Oh, Rat, you're a wonder. You deduced it all. Once you found the door scraper that done it, the rest came through relentless logic.
Door scraper that did it, Mole. Did it. Pull the bell.
Oh, Rat, you're wasted here among us simple creatures. You should be at Oxford or in the government.
I'd rather be beside a warm fire. Now, Badger! Wake up, Badger, wake up! Pull, Mole, pull. We must wake him. Badger! Badger, wake up!
No! The very next time this happens, I shall be very cross indeed. Disturbing someone on a night like this, who is it? Come on, speak up!
Badger, let us in, please! We're lost!
Lost? How can you be lost? You're outside my front door. Now look here.
Ratty. My dear little man. And it's snowing. I'd no idea. And who's this little chap?
Mr. Mole.
Mr. Mole. But he's colder than you are, Ratty. My dear fellows, come in. Come inside this minute.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Badger.
Oh, good to see you, Badger. Hello, louder.
That's the second time they've given us the slip. I'm beginning to get cross about this.
You see, Chief, that's why I wanted to take them at the caravan.
Norman.
Yes, Chief.
A word of advice, never say I told you so.
Why, Chief?
Because it gets right up my nose.
Here, put these dressing gowns on.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Badger.
Oh, very civil of you.
You shouldn't be out on a night like this, little chaps like you. But I've got a grand fire going. Oh, your little friend's shivering, Ratty.
Well, we both are.
But look at his face. I bet your little toes are like ice.
Oh, it was his own fault.
No, Ratty, none of that. You've had a narrow escape. Oh, what's this? Have you hurt yourself? Ratty, your little friend's hurt himself.
I know.
How did you come to do that?
On the door scraper.
On my door scraper? Oh, dear.
Why did you let him do that, Ratty?
The truth is, Badger, Mr. Mole has been a bit of a scamp.
Yes, I have.
Well, he's young, you see, Rat. They get ideas into their heads. Oh, look at that face. So cold. Here we are. Let me bandage your leg.
He would go off on his own, wouldn't be told.
Sense of adventure, was it? I understand that. I'm the same. Rat's more cautious, you see. But you won't do it again, will you, Master Mole?
No, never.
Do you hear that, Ratty? He won't do it again. Now, what's wanted is a bowl of piping hot soup. And I've got just the thing on the hob. Now, a bowl for Mole. Poetry, eh, Rat? Your province.
Shall I get my own?
Yes, you can help yourself. Feeling better now, have we? Warmth coming back into those little toes of yours.
Oh, yes, thank you, Mr. Badger.
Goodness me, you mustn't call me Mr. Badger. No. My friends call me Badger.
My friends call me Moley.
Do they?
If Badger's too old for nicknames, he'd probably be happier calling you Mole.
Rat knows best as always. Anyway, tell me, what's been happening in your part of the world? How's friend Toad getting on?
Another smash-up last week, and this time a bad one. He will insist on driving himself, and he can't do it for Toffee.
What he wants is a chauffeur.
Exactly. I said to him, get a steady, well-trained animal. A hedgehog, for instance. They're very good on the road.
How many has he had?
Smashes or machines? Well, same thing with Toad. This is his 7th.
He's been in hospital 3 times and he's paid out a fortune in fines.
Has he, Moley? Dear me.
And that's part of the trouble. Toad's well off, we all know, but he's not a millionaire. Bankrupt or killed, it's going to happen sooner or later, unless...
Unless you and I take him in hand.
Quite.
Of course you understand that I can't do anything right now.
Oh, yes, of course. Why not?
Winter. I never do anything much in the winter. But it's a different thing once it gets to spring. One starts to get more bounce. Do you feel that in the spring, Moley?
Oh, yes.
Well, I know I do. That's decided. As soon as it gets to spring, the first item on the agenda is for you, me, and Mole to take Toad seriously in hand. Now, you're going to have to snuggle down in these chairs, if that's all right.
Oh, thank you.
So, here's a nice quilt for Mole.
Ooh.
And a blanket for the Rat.
Thank you.
And just this once, we'll skip brushing our teeth, eh? That's it. Little toes warm, are they?
Oh, yes, thank you, Badger.
Good. You comfortable in that chair, Rat?
I'm all right. Bit cold.
What about you, Moley?
Oh, I'm very comfortable. I'm warm as toast.
Well, that's what matters, Night.
Night, Badger.
Oh. Do you like old Badger?
Oh, yes.
Not too fierce for you?
Fierce? I thought he was very kind.
He is kind.
And understanding.
Of course, that comes with age. You see, he's much older than you or me.
He didn't seem old to me.
Oh, he is. How old exactly would you say Badger was, Moley? Moley? Oh, little fella's asleep. Oh, he seems old to me, Badger. Oh, this frightful chair.
Of course, Chief. If I'd bitten their heads off when I wanted to, we could have been fast asleep by now.
Norman.
Yes, Chief.
Do you know what it's like to have your head bitten off?
Come again, Chief?
Want to find out?
Sorry, Chief.
Morning, Moley. Sleep well?
Oh, yes, thank you.
Oh, good. Well, I think a cup of tea would be nice. I'll put the kettle on. Now, who can that be? Oh, my back. Wretched chair. Arthur!
Hello, Retty. Ratty, you old fraud. I thought I'd find you here.
Get off, Otter. You're wet through.
You ungrateful beast. Of course I'm wet through. You'd be wet through if you'd been battling through the snow. How's friend Mole? Still in one piece? I don't know what all the fuss is about.
What fuss?
Well, your disappearance, your presumed demise, that fuss. I was just taking a little stroll along the riverbank yesterday when I came upon these ducks, and they said, they've gone. I said, who? They said, Rat. I said, Rat. They said, yes. I said, why? They said, Mole. And I look around and blow me if there isn't a search party dragging the weir. So I thought I'd come over to the wildwood and sniff around a bit and have a word with Badger.
Thanks, Otter. What's all this din? Oh, I might have known. Hello, Otter.
Sorry, Badger. Did I disturb you?
No, I was just catching up on my correspondence. How's my little Mole this morning? Did you sleep?
Oh, yes, even better than at Ratty's.
Oh, thank you. Rat, why don't you help Otter to some breakfast? There we go. You were saying, Molly?
Oh, I did sleep. Rat wouldn't understand. It's being underground.
Exactly. And I'll tell you the best thing about underground. No weather. With Rat, a couple of feet of flood water and he's got to move into hired lodgings. How do you get on with him?
Oh, very well. We're great friends.
Keep you in order, does he?
Well...
The right way and the wrong way?
Yeah, a bit, but I don't mind.
That's because you're like me, down to earth. Trouble with Ratty is that he can sometimes get a bit, ratty.
What's that? Oh, nothing, Ratty.
Well, can't we all share it? I wish I could find something to laugh at. It seems to me we're in a spot. Now, Otter, you've got your ear to the ground. What's the feeling in the wildwood?
They're all up in arms about Toad, Badger. They could break out any time.
That's just what I was saying last night. That's why, come the spring, we've got to do something about Toad.
Why wait for the spring?
I beg your pardon. You said...
I know what I said. I said spring. And it isn't spring. But the curious thing is, I feel it's spring. I've got that spring feeling.
Have you? Oh, good.
Me too.
Good. So the hour has come.
Whose hour?
Toad's hour. Now, are we all ready? We don't want to upset the wildwooders more than we have to, so we won't go out by the front door.
Well, what other way is there?
Lots of ways. I'm sure Moley's house is the same. Now, Ratty, move that table.
Oh, right.
I've got a secret entrance that takes us right to the edge of the wood. The weasels won't even know we've gone.
Where is it?
See this lever with the horse-head handle? Pull it.
Look, Ratty, steps.
By Jove. So, Otter, there's a lantern for you. And Moley, if you'll take my hand. And Ratty, you bring up the rear. Next stop, Toad Hall. Come along, Rat. Keep up with Mole and me. Don't dawdle.
Sorry?
Could I draw your attention to the bodywork, Mr. Toad? We call the shade Old Custard.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yes, and there's your extra cigar lighter. And the horn, Mr. Toad.
Oh, yes, the horn.
Double strength, as you requested.
Oh, she's a dream.
The army all saluted as they marched along the road. Was it the king or General French?
No, it was Mr. Toad.
The queen and her ladies in waiting sat in the window and sewed. She cried, "Who is that handsome man?"
They answered Mr. Toad.
Badger, Rat, Moley. Oh, just the people I want to see. How do you like her, huh? Isn't she a beauty? And she goes like a bird. I can't wait to get her on the road. Pile in and I'll show you. What's the matter? Why these long faces?
Rat, Mole, Toad.
Get off, you fellows! What are you doing? Help! Let go! You can't frog march me! I'm a toad!
Are you the car salesman?
Let go!
I am. Parkinson's the name. Mr. Toad is one of our most valued customers.
I bet he is. Well, Mr. Toad has changed his mind. He will not require the car. The craze is over.
Motor cars is not a craze, sir. They are the coming thing. Motor cars is progress, sir. Motor cars is the future.
Not for toads. Good morning, Mr. Parkinson.
Stop! Where's he going? Where's he taking my beautiful motor?
Back.
Back? How dare you?
Toad, listen to me. You're suffering from an illness.
Oh, rubbish. I never felt better in my life. Oh, my beautiful motor.
A mania, a sickness of the mind.
Poop, poop. Don't be rude, Toad. Rude? May I remind you that you are on my property?
If you are to recover from this illness, it will depend on your being kept away from the source of the infection. Motor cars.
Motor cars are not an infection. Motor cars are my life.
But these crashes, Toad, the fines, the wildwooders think you've got money to burn.
So? One can't help being rich. The wildwooders don't scare me.
Well, here, I think Toady should stand up to them.
Shut up, Mo, you don't understand this.
You're quite right, Moley. Toad should stand up to them. But he should also mend his ways, keep his nose clean, eschew motor cars.
What?
Give them up. Toad, old friend, I want you to solemnly promise never to touch another motor car.
Certainly not. On the contrary, I solemnly promise that the very first motor car I see, far from eschewing it, poop poop, I shall go off in it.
Very well, Toad, you bad low animal. Since you won't yield to persuasion, we'll see what force can do. You've often asked us to come and stay with you. Now we are going to. And when you're free of this addiction, we will leave, but not before. And the first step on the road to recovery is to take off those ridiculous motoring clothes.
Shan't. Shan't.
Take them off him, you two.
Oh, this is an outrage. Oh, stop it, you idiot. Oh, you're hurting me.
You knew it must come to this in the end.
Didn't.
Yes, you did.
Didn't.
You squandered all your father's money.
Haven't. Got loads left. Anyway, buying motor cars isn't squandering.
It's what? An investment?
It's fun. Moley, you're a young person. You understand.
No, it's better this way, Toady, honestly.
Make him put on some proper clothes and send these to the jumble sale.
A jumble sale? My lovely togs? Oh, no.
It is better, isn't it, Badger?
Of course it is.
But it's going to take time. Days. Weeks, even.
Oh dear. How is Mr. Toad? How is his car-itis?
Still refusing to walk, I'm afraid, Hedgehog Harold.
That's my coat, Ratty. That hedgehog is wearing my coat.
Yes. I look rather a dog in it, don't you think?
Take it off. Take it off this minute. You're not fit to wear it.
Toad, behave. I think you'd better go, Harold.
Yes. Tragic.
How are you feeling today, old chap?
Oh, dear Rat, how I hate being a burden to my friends. But I shan't be one much longer now.
I'm jolly glad to hear it. We could go up the river.
Dear, simple Ratty, I shall be going up the river all too soon.
That's good news.
Ratty, I just wondered, it's probably too late already, but could you fetch me a doctor?
Why, you're not ill, old chap.
Ill? Well, not really. I just know, as we animals do know, that I have come to the end of some kind of road.
Nonsense, Toady. Of course I'll fetch a doctor if you want one, but I'm sure he'd just say you needed a tonic.
A tonic? If it were only that. Oh, is it getting dark? Has the sun gone in?
No.
It seems dark to me, Ratty.
Toady, let go of my arm.
Listen, Ratty, forget the doctor. Fetch me a lawyer.
A lawyer?
Oh, quickly, Ratty. I have many responsibilities.
Yes, of course. But Toady, let go of my arm. Toady, can you hear me?
Are you the lawyer? Oh, take this down.
This is the last will and testament of Toad.
No, Toady, it's still me, Ratty.
Oh, haven't you gone yet? Oh, it's so dark. I want the sun. Give me the sun, Ratty. Give me the sun.
Hang on, please.
Oh.
Hang on.
I could have been an actor, I suppose, though it's no job for someone of my intelligence. Is it getting dark? Brilliant. I was quite moved. Not that it takes much to fool Rat. I mean, he's a very worthy fellow with many good qualities, but very little in the intelligence department. As in due course Badger will doubtless tell him. Oh, they're all such children. They think I'm a fool, but sometimes I feel I'm the only one who's really grown up. Hark! What do I hear? Oh, goody, goody.
Well, how do you like her, Monica?
Like her, Rupert. I love her.
Feeling peckish?
I'll say. This motoring lark really gives a girl an appetite.
What say we adjourn to yonder hostelry? See what mine host can do in the way of fodder.
What a topping idea.
Give the old girl time to cool off.
Oh, Rupert, it's jolly cold.
We've got a nice warm fire in here.
I know this car. It's the one Badger had sent away. I suppose it would be very naughty to take her for a little ride. No. No, you're quite right. It would be wicked. Well, just a teeny little ride, even? No. Still, I wonder if she starts easily. Oh, goodness. Well, now she's started, I'll just run her a few yards. It's bad for the engine if you don't. Isn't this gorgeous? I'm Toad the Terror, the traffic queller, the lord of the lone trail, before whom all must give way or be smitten into nothingness and everlasting night.
Is a member of the middle classes and has a charming home in a riverside setting, parts of which date back to the 14th century.
The riverside setting?
No, stupid, the charming home. Moreover, he regularly sits down to meals of at least 5 courses, besides which, and one might think that this is the clincher, he doesn't have to do his own washing up. Is that right?
Quite right. I've never done the washing up in my life.
I'm glad to hear it. In short, the prisoner is generally agreed to be a man of such modesty and delicate sensibility that he would be an ornament to any prison in which he were to find himself.
Yes.
That is one side of the picture. The other need not detain us long. The prisoner has been accused of taking and driving away a motor car, apropos of which I'd just like to ask the court one question. Why should the prisoner steal a motor car when he can, as we have heard, just as easily buy one?
Why should he buy one when he can just as easily steal one?
Well, I hadn't thought of that. Are you a witness?
No, Your Honour. Just a weasel, with the public interest at heart.
Now, the prisoner is alleged to have driven the car into a pond. Tell me, have you ever driven into a pond before?
No, Your Honour.
So this is a first offence?
He's driven into a haystack.
Really? Who are you? Identify yourself.
I'm just a ferret who cares for justice, Your Honour.
Well, a haystack and a pond are a very different kettle of fish, so I'm going to ignore that.
He had a close shave with a cow, Your Honour.
Oh dear, oh dear. Then who are you?
A stoat who knows the difference between right and wrong, Your Honour.
I don't like the sound of a close shave with a cow.
Is the cow in court, Your Honour?
Oh, I don't know. Is the cow in court?
No, man.
Yes, Your Honour. That's not a cow, Your Honour. It's a weasel.
I'm a cow.
You are a weasel.
I'm not. Moo.
Stop it! Whether the witness is a cow or a weasel might exercise an Oxford philosopher, but it need not detain us here.
Sir.
Oh, I'm fed up with being interrupted. Well, what is it?
The prisoner's driving brought a hen of my acquaintance to the brink of nervous collapse. She didn't know whether she was coming or going.
Who are you?
I'm a fox with a conscience.
Rubbish! I don't want to hear any more. Despite all these objections, I still retain the favourable impression I had of the prisoner when he first stepped into the dock. I keep thinking of that riverside mansion where, who knows, I might one day be a guest.
Toad? Oh, yes. Any time you please. It will be my pleasure.
Oh, that's very kind of you, though that does not affect my judgment in the least. Do you do kedgeree for breakfast at all?
Oh, yes, and devil kidleys.
Oh, my favourite. However, kedgeree and kidneys to one side, my inclination is to let the prisoner go free. With one small proviso, namely the prisoner must never under any circumstances go near a motor car again. He must never, ever drive.
What do you say to that?
Never. Excellent. Case dismissed.
No, stop. I don't mean I never will. I mean I never won't.
You never won't what?
I never won't. Not drive. I love motor cars. Motoring is my destiny. Petrol runs in my blood. Drive.
Seize him! Restrain him! Put him in neutral!
He is not himself, Your Honour.
Fire has turned his head.
No, it hasn't.
Believe me, Your Honour, he's very nice underneath.
I am Toad, the king of the road. Out of my way! Out of my way!
Seize him, somebody!
Why are you? You're going to get it now. You've been very naughty. Come here. You're going to free. Stop.
Now that the prisoner has revealed himself in his true colours, the only difficulty that presents itself is how we can make it sufficiently hot for the incorrigible rogue and hardened criminal now cowering in the dock before us.
Objection, Your Honour. He isn't cowering.
He is now, Chief. Thank you. That was very public-spirited of you. Prisoner of the bar, you have been found guilty on the clearest evidence of stealing a valuable motor car. What is the stiffest penalty we can impose for this offence?
12 months, which is lenient.
Oh, I was hoping to pass a much longer sentence.
Well, you can't. Big nose.
What did the prisoner say?
Big nose, Your Honour.
Do I have a big nose?
Not especially.
So it's not fair comment?
No. Cheek.
Can I give him anything for that?
Oh, yes. 20 years.
Jolly good. That's cheered me up no end. 20 years!
No!
Take him down.
The world has held great heroes, as history books have showed, but never a name to go down to fame compared with that of Toad.
Don't hurt him. Ratty, they're hurting him.
No, they're policemen. They don't hurt people.
Oh, they're hurting him. They're hitting him on the head.
No, it's self-defense.
Oh, Toady!
Help me, please! Help me! Ratty!
Come on, get down.
My friend, please! Ratty!
Taylor! Odds bodikins, rouse the old loon and take over from us this vile Toad. A criminal of deepest guilt and matchless artfulness and resource. Watch and ward him with all thy skill and, mark thee well, greybeard, Should aught untoward befall, thy old head shall answer for his. Hang the marine on both of them. You, come here.
Oh! Ratty! Mole! Badger! Help me! Help me!
The parting of the ways. You sure you won't come and stay? You're very welcome.
No, we'll get on home.
Sad day. It's not going to be much of a Christmas. Goodbye, Moley, little chap. Safe journey.
Bye, Badger.
Bye, Badger.
He was brave, Toad. Singing his song in court.
Very foolish, if you ask me. He should have kept his mouth shut.
Well, at least he went down fighting.
Yes, silly fellow.
You're always so sensible, Rat. Can't bear to think of him stuck in some dark, damp hole.
No place for a toad. Time enough to worry about Toad when we're safely home. Come along.
What's the matter, Ratty?
Nothing. I just have the feeling we're being watched. You see, as soon as the word gets back about Toad, the Wild Wooders are going to start celebrating.
Ratty, come back. I want you, quick.
Oh, come along, Mo, for goodness sake.
It's my home. It must be quite close, my old home.
Can't stop now, old chap. Must press on.
Oh, but Ratty!
Listen, Mo, we can't hang about. It's late and I'm not sure we're alone. Be sensible. Anything wrong?
I know it's a shabby little place and not as smart as yours, but I was fond of it.
Fond of what?
I'd forgotten all about it until suddenly I smelled it.
Smelled what?
I only wanted one little look and you wouldn't turn back. Oh, Ratty, it was home.
Moley, I'm a beast. A thorough beast.
No.
My best friend eating his heart out, and what do? Tell him to pick his feet up. Rat, you're a fool. You don't see what's under your nose. So, now we've got that straightened out, it's about turn.
No, we can't. What about the Wild Wooders?
Hang the Wild Wooders. We're going to find your little house. Come on, you're in charge now.
No, it's too late and too dark. I shouldn't have said anything.
Now, whereabouts was it? About here, I think.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh,
Mo, where are you?
I'm here! In my little gravel courtyard.
Oh, Joe. What's this by the front door? A skittle alley?
Yes, I laid it out myself.
How very jolly. Now, let's see. I used to be rather a dab hand at this.
Never mind, you're just out of practice. Now, that statue's Garibaldi.
Was he a mole?
No, he was a hero of modern Italy. That's Queen Victoria.
Oh. Was she a hero of modern Italy?
No, though she could have been if she'd wanted to be.
Oh.
Come inside. I'd forgotten how dusty it was.
It's here! No, not at all.
It's not a patch on your place, Ratty.
Nonsense, old chap. I'm sure it's absolutely delightful.
Oh, Ratty, why ever did I do it?
Do what, old fellow?
What bring you back to this poor, cold, shabby little place? You might have been at Riverbank toasting your toes before a blazing fire.
Absolute nonsense. It's a capital place. So compact, so labour-saving. Mole, I congratulate you. It's perfect.
You really think so?
Now, the stove's laid already, so we'll soon have the place warm. Meanwhile, Moley, why don't you find yourself a cloth and have a little dust around?
Oh, do you like this bunk under the stairs? That was my idea.
I like it all, Moley. It's so cosy.
Oh.
What's the matter now?
Food. I've nothing to give you for supper, not a crumb.
Really? Well, what's this? A sardine opener. If there's an opener, there must also be the wherewithal that's to be opened. Namely, a tin of sardines. Now then, what's this? A German sausage, a biscuit tin containing, surprise, surprise, biscuits. And what have you got there? Mo, you dark horse. Beer. It's a banquet. What's that?
No, it's only the field mice. They've come carol singing. They always come to Mole End last of all.
Really? Well, come on, let's have a look at them. Well done, well
that
done.
was
Merry
splendid.
Christmas.
Thank
We've
you.
missed you, Mr. Mole.
Well, I've missed you.
Don't you live here anymore?
No, Mouse Maureen. I live on the riverbank with Mr. Rat, though I still keep this on as a pied-à-terre.
Who looks after you?
We look after ourselves.
Who cooks?
Mr. Rat cooks.
Don't you have a mother to look after you?
No.
We do!
Well, I did once.
What happened to her?
Now, what are all these questions?
Oh, you mustn't mind them. They're always like this.
Did you have a mother, Mr. Rat?
Once upon a time, not now.
Are you an orphan?
Certainly not.
No, Mother. Who puts the top back on your toothpaste? Who airs your vest?
We fend for ourselves. We're bachelors.
Is that nice?
It's the only thing.
Look what I've found. A tin of toffees. Ah, there, off you go then. Thank you for calling.
Well, I don't know about you, Molly, but I'm ready to drop. Sleep is simply not the word. That your bed? Well, I'll take the bunk. What a ripping house this is. Oh, everything's so handy.
Bratty,
What?
it's lovely to be home again. But I don't want to live here anymore. I don't want to leave Riverbank.
No, I thought you might.
It's nice to see all my old things again. But I'm happy the way we are.
Molly?
Yes, Ratty?
Thanks, old chap.
Oh, poor Toad. Poor little Toady. All alone on his own. Nobody wants him. Nobody cares. I had a big house once. Servants, friends, wise old badger, clever, intelligent rat, sensible little mole. Oh, why didn't I listen to you? Oh, foolish, foolish Toad. It's the end of everything. At least, it's the end of Toad, which comes to the same thing. Oh, thrust into this dark, damp dungeon, despised by the world, deserted by his friends, whom he entertained entirely at his own expense. Oh, ungrateful badger, sanctimonious rat, silly, silly mole. Where are they when I need them? All nice and snug at home while I'm stuck here for 20 years. I can't bear it. 20 years! It's not fair!
Dinner!
Dinner? Dinner? At a time like this? I couldn't. What is it?
Bubble and squeak.
Bubble and squeak? How insensitive people are. No, 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 never.
Well, take it away then.
No, I might just manage to force down a mouthful. After all, I owe it to my friends.
You like that?
Not particularly.
Oh, well, I'll take it back.
Oh, no. I mean, I don't dislike it. It's perfectly acceptable in its way, only it's not what I'm used to at Toad Hall.
Well, what are you used to? Tell me about Toad Hall.
Toad Hall is a self-contained gentleman's residence in a picturesque riverside setting. It is very unique in its way, and though parts of it date back to the 14th century, it has up-to-the-minute sanitation and the last word in billiard rooms.
Oh, bless the animal. I don't want to rent it. Just tell me something about it. Tell me about the linen cupboards.
The linen cupboards? Well, naturally, I've never been in them.
Oh.
I imagine they are stacked with piles of snowy white sheets, immaculately pressed pillow slips, and big, thick towels galore.
Oh, it sounds paradise.
Toad Hall? No, just a well-run gentleman's residence.
I wish I could see it, Toadie.
Oh.
When all's said and done, he is rather a pet.
I wish I could take you there, my dear. She's a comely enough lass, though the idea that a toad out of the top drawer should throw himself away on a mere skivvy is frankly ludicrous. Oh, who knows? Perhaps one day I can find you a position below stairs.
Below stairs? You're a convict. You're in here for 20 years.
Oh, I was forgetting. Oh, 20 years. 20 years.
Oh, there. I'm a fool to myself, I know, but I've got a real soft spot for you.
I know. So many people do. It's known as charm.
I just wish I could think of a way of getting you out of here.
Washing! Bring out your washing!
Here comes my aunt. She's a washerwoman.
Oh, think no more about it. I have several aunts who ought to be washerwomen.
She washes for all the convicts in the castle.
Oh, how lovely for her. All those terrible vests and big men's smalls.
Actually, you're not unlike one another.
I beg your pardon?
Only she can come and go as she pleases.
Lucky her.
Listen, Toad. You're very rich and Auntie's very poor.
Oh, that's the way the world is, I'm afraid. Auntie is doubtless carefree and happy, whereas we rich are burdened with our responsibilities. I myself am on the board of several companies.
What I mean, silly, is that if you made it worth her while, she might lend you her dress and bonnet and you could escape disguised as her. Auntie!
Oh, hello, dear.
Auntie, listen.
Me? Dress up as a washerwoman? What a distasteful idea. Couldn't I be a lady novelist? Or a high-born prison visitor? I mean, her. Oh.
Him? I don't see the likeness at all.
Give her some money, Toadie.
What? Oh, yes, sorry.
Oh, I do begin to see a distant resemblance. Oh, yes. Come to think of it, we could be sisters.
Now, Auntie, the first thing is to change your clothes.
What for? It's not Friday.
The disguise, madam.
Undress!
Here? I'm a married woman.
Are you stupid or something? You've had your money.
Oh, yes, that's it, isn't it? You've been paid, now take off your clothes. Very well, but only to me bloomers. A line's got to be drawn somewhere.
Believe me, madam, this is far more distressing for me than it is for you. They're so smelly.
I wash other people's clothes. I'm not paid to wash me own.
Now we'll tie you up.
Tied up? You didn't say anything about being tied up.
Ooh, let me. She's a strong woman. But they'll imagine I overpowered her. No mean feat for someone weakened by months of close confinement and virtual starvation. I'll sit on her first.
Get off me!
Auntie, you've been paid. Behave.
I don't care. The nasty little blighter. I'll...
That's enough out of you, madam.
Now, Toad, put the dress on. You'll make a very good woman.
Yes, I'm not unattractive, though I'm not sure this is really my colour.
You look just the ticket. Auntie, stop moaning. I don't think it'll be difficult to get past the guard. My aunt is a woman of unblemished reputation and a keen Methodist, and the guard is sure to keep his distance.
What do you mean? keep his distance.
Well, you know men. So good luck, little toad. And if you get back to your nice house, remember the humble jailer's daughter who took a fancy to you.
Oh, I shall. Perhaps when I open the house to ordinary people, you can come over for tea. Bye-bye, Auntie. This is a far, far better thing you do than you ever did before.
Well, if it isn't Bouncing Betty. How are we today?
Nicely, thank you. Nicely, thank you.
Now, I have a bone to pick with you.
What sort of bone?
Last week I was short of a sock, missing a jersey.
Oh, if you don't put that hand back where it belongs, you'll be missing more than a jersey. Keen Methodist indeed. Open this gate and look sharp about it.
Well, you've changed your tune.
Yes, and you'd better change yours, or you'll feel my hand.
I have felt it. It's all scaly.
Well, that's because I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning, rinsing your vests. Men. What it must be to be a woman. Life a constant struggle with the opposite sex, though I suppose I've only myself to blame. Where looks are concerned, I beat most women into a cocked hat. But now I must make a beeline for home, where I can get out of this malodorous frock. And how convenient! A railway station. It will be the work of a moment to purchase a ticket. 3rd class, of course. No detail, you see, too small to escape this artist in crime. Mind you, I have never travelled 3rd class before. No doubt the toilets are a hellhole. Excuse me, ladies first, excuse me. Now, Toad Hall, please, my man. Single, 3rd class.
That will be 3 and 11, madam.
1 moment. Oh, why does the female sex wear such complicated clothes? They seem designed to prevent one getting inside.
I said 3 and 11, madam.
I know what you said. I'm just getting my wallet, my purse.
Well, it won't be in your corset, dear. Why don't you get a handbag like everyone else?
You want to keep it somewhere you can put your hand on it. Wouldn't be in your stocking top, would it?
Certainly not.
Betty.
3 and 11.
Get a move on, madam. Some of us have a train to catch.
Yes.
I know. I put it in my jacket pocket. Oh, that's it. I took it off. My money, my keys.
3 and 11, madam, and this is the 3rd time of asking.
Look here, my good man. I find I've left my purse behind. Just give me a ticket and I'll send the money on tomorrow. I'm very well known in these parts.
You soon will be if you try tricks like that next.
Back of the queue! Back of the queue!
Oh, how dare you! Oh, money! How small-minded people are! I've got buckets of money, tons of the stuff. I just omitted to bring it with me.
Hello, Mother. You don't look very happy.
Oh, Mr. Engine Driver, I'm a poor washerwoman who's lost all her money and can't get home.
Oh, dearie me. And you've got kiddies waiting for you, I dare say.
Oh, 9 of them, at least. There may be more, only they never keep still long enough for me to count them. And they'll be hungry and playing with matches and getting their little heads stuck fast in the railings. Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Tell me, do you wash a good shirt?
Oh, shirts are my speciality. Shirts are to me, sir, what daffodils is to Wordsworth.
Well, then, I'll tell you what I'll do. I go through a power of shirts in this job, so if you'll wash me a few when you get home, I'll give you a ride on the engine.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Engine Driver, sir.
Go on, hop on.
Well, I won't hop on. If I hopped on, somebody might think I was a frog or something of that kind. The idea.
Right, there we go. Come on, then. Up you go.
One more leg. There we are.
Comfy. Right, off we go.
Oh, isn't this exciting?
Oh, the fields, the trees, the world flying past. This is the way to travel. Tell me, Mr. Engine Driver, how much would an engine like this cost?
Cost? You're not thinking of buying one?
Oh, me? A poor washerwoman? Oh, how could I?
Oh, you'd have to wash a dealer's shirts before you saved up for one of these. Hey, I say. Oh, that's unusual. The signal's against us. Oh, steady. That's funny. We're the last train running in this direction tonight, and yet I could swear we're being followed.
Followed?
Yes, by another train. I'm sure of it.
Oh, well, let's get on then.
Oh, no. I can't go against the signal. I can see it now. There is another train. It's full of people. Ancient warders, policemen, and shabbily dressed men in bowler hats. Obvious and unmistakable plainclothes men, even at this distance.
Oh, no.
And all of them shouting, "Stop, stop!"
Oh, go! Go! Oh, please go!
Washerwoman, have you been telling me the truth?
Yes. No. Oh, save me, dear, kind Mr. Engine Driver. I am not the kindly, simple, attractive laundress that I seem to be. I am a toad. The well-known and popular Mr. Toad of Toad Hall in the county of Berkshire. I have only this afternoon escaped from a noisome dungeon into which, should that train catch up with us, I shall shortly be thrust again. Oh, let me fling myself on your mercy, kind Mr. Engine Driver.
Yeah, now steady on. What were you in prison for?
Borrowing a motor car.
Oh, I don't hold with motor cars.
Nor do I.
There's too many of them for my money.
Oh, I do so agree.
Railways, not roads, is my motto.
My sentiments exactly.
Doubtless these people following us are all outraged motorists.
Yes, sports car drivers, horn sounders, people who flash headlights.
Representatives of the AA and the RAC and the Road Hauliers Federation and others of their vile breed.
Yes.
Well, Toad, I ain't going to be the one to hand you over to the four-wheel fraternity.
Oh, thank you.
So, listen carefully. I'm going to turn my back, count to 3, and when I turn round again, you will, to my utter surprise, have jumped off the train and disappeared. You understand me?
Oh, yes.
Right then. 1, 2, 3.
Yes?
Look, I said I'm going to turn me back, count to 3, and when I turn round again, you will, to my utter surprise.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
Goodbye, and thank you.
Toodaloo then, Toad. Now I'm going to lead them a ride dance. Stop! 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 Stop!
Oh, what a relief.
Hello, Toad.
I beg your pardon?
I said hello, Toad.
Toad? I'm a washerwoman.
Yes, and I'm Sherlock Holmes. It's not another one of your crazies, is it? Caravans, cars, and now dressing up in women's clothing?
Shh! This is my disguise.
Well, I've penetrated it.
Who are you?
You don't recognise me?
Huh?
I'm not in disguise. I'm one of your ex-employees. Albert.
Albert? Oh, of course. Albert, my trusty steed, my long-lost friend.
You for bottom smacking.
Now, what are you doing here?
Well, after the caravan incident, me doctor advised me to seek employment in a less, as it were, stressful occupation, and preferably one where motor cars didn't come up behind me and without so much as a by your leave biff me on the bottom. Hence the barge now coming slowly round the bend, The large lady is the barge lady, my new employer. Virginia Woolf she isn't, but her pie and peas is to cooking what Michelangelo was to ceiling painting. I'll introduce you.
Oh, no. She mustn't know that we know each other. There, old fellow.
Don't do that.
Nice morning, Mom.
Is it? Not for a poor washerwoman who this very morning got a letter from her married daughter telling her to drop everything and come at once. Oh, are you a mother, ma'am?
Oh, well, I was once. So where's this married daughter of yours living then, Mom?
Near the river, not far from an elegant, self-contained gentleman's residence called Toad Hall. Perhaps you've heard of it.
Toad Hall? I certainly have. And it just so happens I'm headed that way myself. Up on the barge.
Thank you, ma'am.
One more won't make no difference to Albert.
Oh, no. And why draw the line at one? One washerwoman doesn't make no difference. Why not offer a lift to the entire staff of the Snow White Laundry? Plus their dependent relatives. Albert doesn't mind. The more the merrier.
He's cheered up. He was very depressed this morning. So, you're in the washing line then, Mum?
Yes, one is a career woman, for one sins. I cater for all the gentry, which means one gets a respectable type of undergarment, which in this business is half the battle.
Are you very fond of washing?
Oh, I love it. It's my vocation. Laundry is my life.
Oh, what a blessing it is that I met you. We can both do each other a good turn.
Oh, in what way, precisely?
I like washing too. However, I've made the mistake of marrying this idle specimen. He's off with the dog now, seeing if he can't pick up a rabbit for dinner, leaving me stuck with the steering, and how do I get on with me washing?
Oh, my dear, forget the washing. Fix your mind on that rabbit. Fat, young, garnished with bacon and served with fried onions. Oh, you got any onions?
Onions? How can you think about onions when there's such a treat in store?
What treat?
Why, my washing, silly. A whole heap of my scanties and whatnot. You can give them a good scrub as we go along. Here. There you go. There's soap and a tub. Tools of your trade. The raw materials of your art.
Well, I suppose any fool can wash. To a person of my intelligence, it will be a pushover.
I'll bet you can't wait. Smell those. My hubby's socks. Then there's some comms. This heavy-duty Liberty bodies. Oh, there's, free-soiled corsets. Oh, and look at these bloomers. It's a laundress's banquet. There you go, then.
I don't feel very well.
Happy to float in a lazy old boat on a lovely sunny day. Drifting along, singing a song, rub all your troubles away. Completely happy to glide as you go with the tide, as you wend your weary way. Drifting along as you're singing a song on a lovely sunny, la-da-da-da, on a lovely sunny day.
Oh, fool! What a terrible job. Nasty, wet clothes. And smelly, too. And my poor paws have gone all crinkly. Oh, how do women stand it?
Here, I've been watching you. You're never a washerwoman. I bet you never washed so much as a dishcloth in your life.
Don't you take that tone with me, madam. Washerwoman? No, I am not a washerwoman. I am Toad, the well-known and distinguished Mr. Toad, the landed proprietor. I'm under a bit of a cloud at present, but I'm still streets ahead of you, a common barge woman.
A toad? A toad? Oh, so you are. Oh, horrid, nasty, crawly toad. And on my nice, clean barge, too. Now, that's something I will not have. Over you go, and good riddance! What a nasty scaly hand.
Did you see that? Did you see that?
Why, laundry person, I see you're wet through. Notice how I'm keeping up your disguise.
There's no need to, stupid. She's twigged that I'm a toad.
I'm not surprised you never took me in for a minute. Here, what you doing?
I'm riding you back to Toad Hall.
You can't do that.
Stop that! Stop that this minute!
I've got a bad back. Besides, I'm quite happy here. My only complaint is that it lacks a bit of civilization.
Albert, it's a toad. That washerwoman is a toad.
I'll give you civilization. I'll give you as much civilization as you want.
Can I have the run of the library?
Yes.
And you won't object if I put my nose in a book?
No.
Because I like a bit of Tennyson now and again.
Oh, she's getting out of the barge.
Listen, you horrible toad. That horse is my property.
I'm not your property. I'm not anybody's property. You better get on, Toady. Property indeed. All property is theft.
There we are. Right, now, come on, gee up, Albert, gee up. Toad Hall, Toad Hall.
Oh, dear.
The good lady seems a trifle upset, Norman. Perhaps you should inquire why. Act Norman sensitively.
Right, Chief.
Hello, darling. Why the waterworks?
I haven't got anybody to pull my barge.
Come again, my love.
I'm being robbed.
Stupid cow's been robbed.
Who by, Norman?
Who by my little slice of suet pudding?
A toad. He stole my horse.
A likely story. Toad stealing a horse? Toad? Toad, Chief? You don't think...
Just ask her which way it went, Norman.
Which way, sweetheart?
That way.
Thank you, madam. Come on, Norman.
Right, Chief.
After it.
Can you smell something?
Well, it's not me.
Stew. I smell stew. Ah, good evening, Mr. Romany.
Good evening, washerwoman.
That looks like a lovely stew. I could do with some stew.
Want to sell that there horse of yours?
What? Me sell this beautiful young horse of mine? Oh, no, it's out of the question. This is a blood horse. His brother-in-law ran in the Grand National.
Then why is he delivering washing?
Nerves.
Nerves?
He's highly strung, which is what makes him such a goer.
Shilling a leg.
Shilling a leg? I'll just work that out and see what it comes to.
What are you up to?
Shut up, I'm counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I could never think of accepting only 4 shillings for a horse like this.
I should think not.
Keep quiet.
5, and that's 3 and 6 more than it's worth.
It's a scandal.
Shh, I have a plan. Look here, Gypsy. This is my final offer. 6 and 6 cash down, plus as much stew as I can possibly eat in that pot. It's a prize hackney.
It's a wicked price. All right. There you go.
Thank you.
Now, let's have a look at this here horse of yours.
Goodbye, old friend.
Goodbye? I thought you said you had a plan.
Yes, that was it. 6 and 6 and as much stew as I could possibly eat.
But what about me?
Albert, you will have to stop thinking about yourself all the time. It creates a very unfortunate impression. Goodbye.
Toad?
Don't work too hard. Goodbye.
Why did I let Toad take me in? I was happy pulling the barge. I was happy in my meadow at Toad Hall. Now I shall have to plod round back streets and pull a rag and bone cart for the rest of me days. Never more to gallop in green fields.
Come on, you. Come on.
Toad!
It's not the same, is it?
What?
Without Toad.
Oh, Toad.
That's who you're thinking about, isn't it? You haven't spoken all evening.
As a matter of fact, it isn't. Though I suppose it is time we trekked over to prison to pay him a visit. No, I was thinking about Otter.
Otter?
I dropped in there today. Mo, I'm afraid they're in trouble. Little Portly's missing again.
Well, he's always getting lost. He'll turn up. Otter hasn't an enemy in the world.
No enemies. Hunters with their long poles and those shameful dogs. Anglers, gamekeepers.
In our world, I meant, Ratty. Everybody likes the otters, even the weasels, and Portly's such a pet.
Yes, but it's been days now, and Portly hasn't learned to swim very well. Otter's worried about the weir.
The weir?
The current's so strong he wouldn't stand a chance.
Oh, dear.
Oh, well, I suppose we ought to think about turning in.
No, I should never sleep. Let's paddle upstream. The moon's coming up, and at least it's better than standing here doing nothing.
I hope you say that. Come on, then. Otter thinks that wherever he is, if he's anywhere, poor little chap, he'll make for the ford. It's where Otter first taught him to swim. Otter? Otter, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
It's Ratty and Mo.
Hello. Hello, Molly. Fine night.
Any sign?
Afraid not. Still living hopes. You just taking the air?
We thought we'd have a scout round. Want to come?
I'll stay here if you don't mind. Got a hunch this is where the little chap will make for.
I'm sure he'll turn up.
Oh, yes. Just a matter of waiting, really. Ratty. Oh. Thank you.
Funny about children. All the worry. Is it worth it?
Oh, I know. I wouldn't want any. Me all over again, no fear. Mind you, there were 14 of us. There was Frank and Claude, Winifred and Jane. She got caught in a trap and made into a waistcoat. Oh, that's one of the risks of being a mole. People, they're always wanting you for a waistcoat. Sorry, where was I?
Listen, Mo.
Sammy and William and Clarence.
Mo, shut up. Listen.
What is it?
There. Can't you hear it? The music.
No.
It's music I've never heard before, and yet I seem to know it.
All I can hear is the wind in the willows.
There it is again. Row, Mo, row. Follow the music. It's meant for us. It's a call. You must hear it now, Molly. It's all around.
Yes, I do. But it's coming from the island above the weir.
We're going to find him, I'm sure.
Ratty, never stand up in a boat, remember?
Hang all that. I must follow the music. It's somewhere. It's here. Moor the boat. Come on, Molly.
I feel as if I'm in church. Not that I've ever been in church.
Hush, Molly. Just hold my hand.
Lest the awe should dwell and turn your frolic to fret, you shall look on my power at the helping hour, but then you shall forget.
Forget?
Forget?
Lest limbs be reddened and rent, I spring the trap that is set. As I loose the snare, you may glimpse me there, for surely you shall forget.
Forget?
Forget?
Helper and healer, I cheer small waifs in the woodland wet. Strays I find in it, wounds I bind in it, bidding them all forget.
Forget?
Forget? Look. Here's Portly.
Fast asleep.
There was someone here, Ratty. Some great creature.
Was there? There was music. I remember the music.
Yes, there was music.
It's gone. Never mind.
Where am I?
Come along, Portly.
let's go and find Otter. This sounds like him now.
Oh, does it? Well, you're wrong. Oh, look who it isn't, Mole and Rat. Long time no see, Albert. Where have you been, Albert? Well, since you ask, I was sold to a gypsy who beat me. Oh dear, Albert, we're very sorry to hear that. What did you do? I escaped. And now I'm looking for Toad, with whom I have a little bone to pick.
Toad's locked up.
Oh, no, he isn't. He ought to be, but he isn't. Toad is out and heading for home. I'm mildly surprised that he isn't here.
I hope nothing's happened to him.
So do I.
I couldn't bear it.
But where is he? Where's Toad?
Oh, I'm so hot and so tired. What a fool I was to sell Albert. It wasn't very nice stew anyway. And now I'm just as hungry as ever. And it's such a long road. Oh, a motor car! A motor car! Salvation! I'll hail them! My brothers of the wheel! Stop! Stop! Yes, yes! Oh, no! Calamity! Calamity! It's the people I stole the car from! Oh, they'll send me back to the prison! Oh, poor Toad! Poor Toady!
What is it, Rupert?
A washerwoman, Monica. Fainted. Heat. Hunger. Something, anyway.
Oh, sad.
I'll get her into the car.
Well,
Up you get, old girl. Hold on to me. There you are. Poor old washerwoman. I'll pop her in the front next to you. Careful.
Thank you.
In you go. All right. There.
Much better.
The fresh air will soon revive her. This'll put the roses back into your cheeks. Off we go. How are you feeling now?
Much better. Thank you, sir. I don't suppose...
What?
I could have a go at the driving.
Hear that, Monica? The washerwoman wants to drive.
No, Rupert, you'll never let me.
That's because you're a lady. I must say, you're a game old bird. All right. Foot here.
Now where?
See?
Oh,
there.
yes, right.
That's it.
Yes.
Very good.
Ah, right. Now, off we go. Brum, brum.
Yeah, careful, washerwoman. Slow down. Slow down. Washerwoman, slow down. Stop!
Don't washerwoman me. I'm no washerwoman. I am Toad, the motor car smasher. Oh, Toad, the prison breaker. Toad, the demon driver. Toad, the king of the road.
Let's stop him. Assert yourself.
Stop! Stop! Stop this minute or I shall be very cross.
Stealing our car, you beast!
Oh,
no, Monica, no.
No, let go. Let go.
Ooh.
No, I can't steer.
The pond! Look out!
Rupert! Rupert! Rupert?
Monica?
Are you all right?
Yes, but where's the blighter gone? Where's Toad?
He talks too loud, he thinks he's clever. We'll put him away forever and ever. Where's Toad? Where's Toad?
He stole our car.
It's just not cricket.
He travelled on the railway and didn't buy a ticket.
Where's Toad?
Oh, help!
Where's Toad?
No, golly!
He tied me up, he stole my dress.
He left my barge in a terrible mess.
Where's Toad? Where's Toad?
He's jolly rich, and that's a plus, but he's not really one of us.
Where's Toad?
Oh, gosh!
Where's Toad?
Oh, golly!
He talks too loud, he thinks he's clever. We'll put him away forever and ever. Where's Toad? Where's Toad? Where's Toad? There's Toad! There's Toad!
Molly, Badger, is that you? I've been so worried.
given them the slip again. The fools. Ratty, my dear fellow, how are you?
Is it Toad?
Of course it's Toad. Who else could elude his pursuers in so daredevil a fashion?
What are you dressed in? Is it a frock?
Oh, this? Yes, it's rather becoming. Don't you think?
Toad. Oh, Toad. What has happened here?
Oh, now don't you start. I've been back 2 minutes and you're already pulling a long face.
Ratty?
Badger, where on earth have you been? Where's Molly?
You know where we've been, on patrol.
But you're so late.
Is that Toad? Welcome home, Toad. Alas, what am I saying? Oh, unhappy Toad. This is a poor homecoming.
What on earth's the matter with him? Unhappy Toad. Why, I've never felt more cheerful in my life.
Toady! Oh, I've been looking forward to this. We knew you were coming. How are you?
Ah, now this is more like it, Molly. How did you know I was coming?
Albert told us.
Albert? Albert who?
Albert the horse, whom you sold, Toad. Sold to a gypsy.
That wasn't very nice, Toady.
Well, he wanted to widen his horizons. I wasn't going to stand in his way.
You sold him for some stew, Toad, and he would have ended up in the knacker's yard. Fortunately, he escaped.
Escaped? Huh. That's very irresponsible of him.
Well, you must have managed to escape too, you are clever.
Well, I did, of course, but that was different. But clever? Well, not really. To break out of the strongest prison in England? Is that clever? To capture a railway train single-handed and escape on it? Is that clever? Oh, no. I'm sure you're all much cleverer than me.
Toad?
Yes, Badger?
Is that a dress?
Yes, Badger.
I thought it was.
Go to my bedroom this minute, Toad, and look in my wardrobe. In it you will find a choice of tweeds. When you have got into something decent, bring down that dress and I will burn it.
But
Toad?
Yes, Badger?
Do as you're told.
Oh.
And, Toad?
Yes, Badger?
Have a cold bath while you're about it.
At least you're pleased to see me, Molly.
Oh, yes.
No improvement there. Have you told him?
Not yet. Perhaps that'll make him change his tune.
I doubt it.
You were awfully late, the pair of you, and you went out without your muffler again, Molly.
Oh, rats, don't fuss. Mole's perfectly safe with me. Pork pie, Mole?
Yes, please, Badger.
And chew it.
Now, where shall I start? I imagine the first thing you will all want to know is how I escaped from the deepest dungeon of the castle, disguised as a glamorous blanchisseuse.
Toad, don't you see what an awful ass you've been making of yourself? Huh? Handcuffed, imprisoned, starved, chased, insulted, and this I find hardest to bear. Ignominiously flung in the water by a woman.
Who told you that?
Albert.
She was a very large woman. However, since none of you seems to be interested in hearing about my adventures, or even particularly pleased to see me...
Toady.
Don't talk with your mouth full.
I propose to stroll gently down to Toad Hall, get rid of these terrible tweeds, and resume my old life.
I don't think there can be any strolling gently down to Toad Hall.
Oh? And why not?
Because if you do stroll gently down, the first thing that will happen will be that a stoat or a weasel will not so gently take a shot at you.
Wild wooders around Toad Hall?
They're not just around it, they're in it and on it and all over it and have been for months.
But this is outrageous. That is my property.
They eat your grub and drink your drink and make bad jokes about you.
What sort of jokes?
About prisons and magistrates and policemen. Not funny at all.
No. Although there was one I heard.
I don't want to know. You should never let them get in there in the first place.
Oh, Toad, you ungrateful beast.
I don't care. I come home. Nobody's pleased to see me. Nobody wants to hear about my lovely adventures.
I do.
Then, to cap it all, I find the wild wooders have taken over my beautiful riverside home, parts of which date back to the 14th century. It's too much. Well, I'm not scared of them, even if you are. I'm going down there this minute to sort them out.
Toad, sit down.
No, I'm
Sit
going down...
down.
Oh.
You haven't heard the worst of it. Mole and I have just come back from one of our patrols. The weasels must have got word of your return, and the guards have been doubled. Toad Hall is now a fortress. It's impregnable.
To ordinary folk, yes, but to someone who's stolen a railway train, mere child's play. I'm going down there now.
Well, I'm coming with you.
No, you're not, Mole.
He can if he wants to.
Be sensible, tell
Shut
him.
up, the lot of you. There are more ways of capturing a place than by taking it by storm. Now, I'm going to tell you a great secret. Coming right up in the middle of Toad Hall and leading from the river bank quite near here is an underground passage.
Oh, nonsense, Badger. I know every inch of Toad Hall, inside and out, and there's no such passage. You've been listening to some of the tales they tell in public houses.
I wasn't told it in a public house, Toad, for the good reason that I have never been in a public house. It was told me by someone for whom I had an immense respect. Your father. He discovered the passage, repaired it and cleaned it out just in case, and when he showed it to me, he said, "Don't let my son know about it. He's a good boy, only what he's not good at is holding his tongue. But if he's ever in a fix, Badger, you can reveal the secret."
It's not my fault if I am a bit of a talker.
I've found out a thing or two lately. There's going to be a big do tonight. It's some sort of celebration, and all the Wild Wooders will be gathered in the dining hall, eating, drinking, and generally carrying on, and, this is the important thing, with no guns, pistols, or anything.
But that's no good. There'll still be the sentries.
Exactly. That's where the secret passage comes in. It leads right up into the butler's pantry.
Of course. That squeaky board. Now I understand.
So then we creep out quietly into the butler's pantry
with our swords and sticks.
Rush in on them.
And whack 'em, and whack 'em, and whack 'em.
When do we move?
Tonight. And it will be a hard-fought fight. So I, for one, am going to take a nap. I suggest you all do the same.
I'm still worried about those sentries.
Scouts, to your posts. Now, Ferret Gerald, what are your orders?
Nobody is to pass, Sergeant Fred. But if anybody does try to get in, then I stop at anything to prevent them. Is that right?
More or less. Just keep your eyes peeled.
Yes, Sergeant Fred. Right, Sergeant Fred. Who comes there?
Forgive me for saying so, but it should be who goes there.
Coming or going, you've no business here.
Oh, yes, I have. I've come to see if you want any washing done today.
No, we don't. We don't do any washing on duty.
No, or any other time, I bet.
What's the trouble, Gerald? Run away, my good woman, run away.
Don't you, my good woman, me. And as for running away, it won't be me that'll be running away in a very short time from now.
What's she mean, Sergeant Fred?
Take no notice, Gerald. She don't know what she's talking about.
Oh, don't I? Well, let me tell you something. My daughter, she washes for Mr. Badger. So I do know what I'm talking about, and you'll know too pretty soon. 100 bloodthirsty badgers are going to attack Toad Hall this very night.
100.
Armed with rifles. That's via the paddock.
Well, thanks very much for telling us. If we all concentrate on a paddock, we'll easily repel them.
Yeah, well, you might, but then again you might not. Because that's not all.
Hey?
Not all? Not all? Oh, Sergeant.
6 boatloads of rats with pistols and cutlasses will come up the river and effect a landing in the garden.
But I can't cope with that.
Not to mention the pig body of toads, known as the diehards or the death or glory toads.
And which way are they coming?
Through the orchard.
Through the orchard, via the paddock, up the river. We shan't know which way to turn. Oh, Sergeant Fred.
What?
If my mum sends a note, is it all right if I don't come in tonight?
I'll call again in the morning. Who knows? You might have some on this to wash.
Now, the sword for Badger, sword for Rat, sword for Toad, sword for Mole. Now then, there's a lantern for Badger, lantern for Rat, lantern for Toad, lantern for Mole.
I'm not criticising Rat, but once we're past the ferrets on sentry duty, we shan't want all that stuff. Surprise is our best weapon. Give me one stick, and I can clear the place single-handed.
So could I. That's all very well, but I prefer to be on the safe side.
Anyway, time's getting on. You better start climbing into all this hardware.
Oh, easy peasy. Ha ha. I'll learn 'em to steal my house. I'll learn 'em. I'll learn 'em. I'll learn 'em.
Toady. That is not your pile. This is your pile. And don't say learn 'em. It's not good English.
What are you always nagging at Toad for?
Yes.
What's the matter with his English? It's the same as what I use myself, and if it's good enough for me, it ought to be good enough for you.
All I'm saying, Badger, is that I think it ought to be teach 'em, not learn 'em.
But we don't want to teach 'em, do we? The time for teaching 'em's past. We want to learn 'em.
Oh, very well. You know best. Can't seem to do anything right these days. Teach 'em, learn 'em, teach 'em. Molly, where have you been? And you've got a frock on now. What is happening?
I've been to Toad Hall, putting the wind up the sentries. I told them they were going to be attacked by hundreds of bloodthirsty badgers and hordes of stop-at-nothing Toads.
Oh, you silly ass, Mole. You've gone and spoilt everything.
For once, Molly, I think Toad's right.
Oh.
Can I ask what effect this news had on the sentries?
Well, they were very upset. They started running this way and that, and saying they wouldn't know which way to turn. I'm sorry, Badger. I thought I was doing the right thing.
Mole, you were doing the right thing. They'll have been completely demoralised. First sign of trouble, and they'll be off back to the wildwood. You have more sense in your little finger than some other animals have in the whole of their fat bodies.
There's no need to get personal.
0 hour.
Molly, old chap, whatever Badger says, I think it's going to be a pretty big show this evening. And I just want you to know that if anything happens to me, I wouldn't have missed it for the world. Good luck, old chap. Do well.
Well, how do I look?
What's that you've got on your head?
A helmet.
Helmet? It's my calendar. And what's this?
Well, it's my breastplate.
My fire screen. Take them off this minute.
Oh, no, Ratty, let him. Just this once.
Oh, very well.
Ready, Toad?
I certainly am.
Well, there's just one last thing. Sticking plaster for Mole, sticking plaster for Toad, sticking plaster for... Badger, where's all your kit?
I've told you I don't need any. I'm going to do all that has to be done with this here stick.
But take some sticking plaster, just for my sake.
Oh, very well. But remember, our biggest weapon is surprise. Now, I shall go first, then Mole, Rat next, and Toad last.
Last? I think I ought to go first. After all, it's my house.
Toad, behave. And if you chatter or do anything silly, I shall be seriously angry, and you'll be sent back. Surprise, remember.
Surprise. Yes. Surprise, you fellows. Surprise.
Shh. 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 Come on.
All right ahead. Come on, Toad. Keep up.
What's this? Attack from the rear. Down, Mole, down, Rat.
Hold or I fire.
No. Don't shoot. It's only me.
Toad! We are on active service. You're under orders, and you have disobeyed them. You have jeopardized the whole expedition. I am going to send you back.
No. No, I don't want to be sent back. It's not fair. It's my house. It's my passage. I won't go back. I won't.
Give him another chance, Badger. He'll be all right once we get into the fight.
Without him, there's only 3 of us.
Very well. But, Toad, it's the last time. Do you understand?
Yes, Badger.
These people mean business.
Oh, dear. I suddenly remembered. I came out without my handkerchief. I'll just...
Toad, stay where you are.
I now call upon our beloved chairman to give his report.
Thank you. when Stoat, Weasel, Ferret, Fox and Company moved into Toad Hall, it was a typical English country estate run on traditional lines. Comfortable, hospitable, and making no profit at all. 3 months of what you might call calculated decrepitude have considerably reduced its market value. And since the owner is now a convicted felon, your directors are convinced they can legally acquire the property at a knockdown price.
Oh, are they? Well, I'll show them.
Steady, Toad, steady.
Our plan now is to convert Toad Hall into a nice mix of executive apartments and office accommodation. Shove on a marina and a cafe or two to fetch in the tourists.
Oh, the horror, the horror.
And once we have done that, we are confident that this run-down stately home can be made a viable commercial enterprise as the Toad Hall Park and Leisure Centre.
That's it, that's it. At 'em, lads! At 'em!
I'm actually quite scared, but I'm not going to show it to Ratty. Funny, the weasels look scared too. They are scared. I get it. Everybody's scared, but you just have to pretend. Here, you Stoat stupid, come here.
What?
Do you want another one of those?
No, of course I don't. I say, Toad, no pinching. Pinching's not fair.
Well, clear off then, or I'll push your nasty ferret face in.
Bite their ankles, go on!
I blame you for this, Norman.
I thought you might.
Please, Mr. Mole, I'm excused fighting. I've got a bad knee, and my sister-in-law's just getting over the shingles. No!
Look, Toad's swinging from the chandelier.
Oh, I've always wanted to do this. Whee! Wrecking my ancestral home, I'll show you parts of it. Date back to the 14th century.
Let's open this window, shall we? Don't want to do any unnecessary damage. I'll just help you out. Well, the place is beginning to look a bit tidier.
Yes, just half a dozen of the villains left. They look as if they're going to make a stand of it. All together. Now then, one last push. If you'll be so good as to open the French windows, Molly. Now, my excellent and deserving mole, I want you to form these rather sorry-looking fellows into a fatigue party and make them give this place a thorough going over.
Come on, you heard the gentleman. Jump to it.
That's right. And see they sweep under the beds, put clean sheets and pillowcases on, and remember particularly to turn down one corner of the bedclothes in a time-honoured manner. I want a can of hot water, clean towels and fresh cakes of soap in every room, and a tin of biscuits by each bed.
Come on, you lot. Quick march. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Excellent, Molly. I'm reluctant to say it, but this victory of ours seems to me to call for some kind of celebration.
I quite agree.
Rather. You mean a party, I'm very good at parties.
Good. Then you can write the invitations and send them off straight away.
I don't want to stop indoors writing mouldy old invitations. I want to go round my property and tell everyone the news.
Toad.
I eat every word. Write the invitations I shall this minute. I know just how the proceedings should go.
What I think would be appropriate would be a few remarks about our prison system, followed by some thoughts on the state of our railways, which would lead naturally into a short disquisition on England's inland waterways, possibly ending with a song and... no? Too serious? Too funny?
There must be no speeches.
Just what I was thinking. People don't want to be lectured. I'll stick to my songs. No songs?
No. And we're not arguing with you, Toad, we're telling you.
No songs?
Mayn't he sing just one little song?
No. It's for your own good, Toadie. You know you're going to have to turn over a new leaf sooner or later, and this will be a splendid time to do it. It'll be a turning point in your career.
My friends, it was just a small thing that I asked. Merely leave to blossom and expand for the last time. Just once more to hear that tumultuous applause that always seems to me somehow to bring out my best qualities. But you are right. I know, and I am wrong. My friends, henceforth I will be a very different Toad. I solemnly promise. You shall never have occasion to blush for me again. But... oh dear. Oh dear. This is a hard world.
Poor Toadie.
I know. I feel a brute.
It's the only way.
If he's going to live here and be respected, he must learn to fit in. If you can do it, Molly, so can he.
Of course you can.
I'm sorry, Toadie. I shall miss your songs.
A recitation by Toad entitled The Toad Came Home. There was panic in the parlour and howling in the hall. There was crying in the cowshed and shrieking in the stall when the Toad came home. When the Toad came home, there was smashing in of window and crashing in of door. There was chivying of weasels and fainting on the floor. When the Toad came home. Bang go the drums, the trumpeters are tooting, and the soldiers are saluting, and the cannon they are shooting, and the motor cars are hooting, as the hero comes. Shout! Hooray! And let each one of the crowd try and shout it very loud, in honour of an animal of whom you're justly proud, for it's Toad's great day. Oh, thank you, most kind, most kind. And so, at this turning point in his fortunes, Toad acknowledges the applause, but with that modesty he will never henceforth abandon. He begins his new life.
Another vol of them, Mr. Ratzer?
Oh, thank you, Norman.
Ratty, may I present the jailer's daughter, who single-handedly effected my escape from prison?
Toadie, you little love.
Oh, Ratty kicked the weasels out of Toad Hall. I think he deserves a kiss, too.
No, please. Oh, I say. That's not unpleasant. I think my friend Mole might like that. Mole, try this. What do you think? Yes. I think one could get quite used to that.
What about Badger?
Oh, I don't think it's Badger's thing at all.
Badger,
Yeah?
you must meet the gentleman who drove the train which I escaped on.
I thought you drove the train.
Me? Whatever gave you that idea? No. And here's Alfred.
Albert.
Oh,
I owe you an apology.
No, don't apologise, or have nothing to be depressed about.
Oh, and you too, my dear barge person.
Hello, Mr. Toad.
Hello. All of you contributed to my escape, and without you, I would not be standing here today.
Are you Mr. Toad of Toad Hall in the county of Berkshire?
I am.
Convicted of taking and driving away a motor car?
And sentenced to 20 years imprisonment.
Yes, that's me.
And do you still do kedgeree for breakfast with devilled kidneys on the side?
Oh, I do.
Then I order you to be pardoned without a stain on your tablecloth.
No speech. I'm just so happy to see you enjoying Toad Hall and its gardens. I'd like in the future to share it with you, not only as a house, but as a venue for all sorts of occasions. Opera, perhaps? Chamber concerts. Even if we're lucky, actors with one-man shows.
Actors?
Well, who knows? Toad Hall might one day have its very own arts festival.
Tell us about the fight. Give us a song. Yes, give us a song, Toadie. Tell us about the fight. Yes.
No. I have nothing to say about that. Badger was the mastermind. Mole and Rat did the fighting, and I merely served in the ranks and did what I was told.
Toadie's better now, isn't he?
Oh, yes, completely cured.
I wouldn't have believed it if I'd not seen it. But it's true. Look at him. He's an altered Toad.
And he is better? I mean, improved.
Well, of course he's better. He's learned to behave himself. No more crazies, no more showing off. He's one of us.
Yes.
What is it, little Mole?
Nothing. I just thought that now he was more like everybody else. It's got a bit, well, dull.
I try not to think like that if I were you, Molly.
No.
It doesn't do.
I say, Ratty, why didn't you tell me before?
Tell you what?
About not showing off, being humble and shy and nice.
I did tell you.
Yes, but what you didn't say was that this way I get more attention than ever. Everybody loves me. It's wonderful.
Oh, Toad!
In Alan Bennett's dramatisation of The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame, with music and songs by Jeremy Sams, Mole was played by Adrian Scarborough, Rat by Richard Bryars, Toad by Nicholas Grace, and Badger by Derek Waring. Albert was played by Terence Rigby, Otter by John Hartley, the Chief Weasel by David March, and Weasel Norman by Stephen Tompkinson. The Magistrate was played by Leslie Phillips. Rupert was played by Graham Seed, and Monica by Alison Dowling. Elizabeth Mansfield was the jailer's daughter and Rabbit Rose, Tina Gray, the washerwoman. Geoffrey Holland, the engine driver, Maria Charles, the barge woman, Danny Schiller, the gypsy, and Jack Claff, Pan. David Holt was Mr. Parkinson, Hedgehog Harold and Weasel Wilfred, James Taylor, the clerk of the court and Hedgehog Herbert, Geoffrey Matthews, the prison guard and Rabbit Robert, David Sinclair, the jailer and Rabbit Ronald, and Simon Treves, Mr. Fox, Ferret Fred, the policeman and the ticket clerk. Jill Graham was Squirrel Shirley, Peter Akers, Squirrel Raymond, Natasha Pines, Squirrel Sarah, Peter Whitman, Hedgehog Henry, Lucy Fitchett, Hedgehog Helen, Paul Panting, Ferret Gerald, Peter Kenny, Stoat Cyril, Tom Bevans, Stoat Stewart, and Belinda Baldwin, Portley. The field mice were played by members of the Finchley Children's Music Group. The musicians were Sarah Clark, William Cox, Julia Findon, Nicola Hadley, Anna Hemery, Juliet Leighton-Jones, Christopher Neal, Jane Pickles, Andrew Roberts, Jeremy Sams, Jane Seber, Kate Summerby, Misak Takusian, Keith Thompson, and Christopher Wells. Technical presentation was by Richard Beedsmore, Keith Grahame, and Ian Pratt. The Wind in the Willows was adapted for radio by Alan Bennett and the director, David Blount.
Come on, everybody, let's sing Ratty's song.
everyone for what he likes. We like to be heads down, tails up, dabbling free, dabbling free. High in the blue of our swift and low. We are down a dabbling, we are down a dabbling, we are down a dabbling, up